No one is talking about this. DeAndre Hunter has been playing the most well-rounded basketball of his career this year. And I'm going to explain why his early success will put him in the driver's seat for an end of season award. Welcome to another episode of Cavs Digest, everybody. It is Thanksgiving week, so I hope you're getting ready for a fun and festive holiday season. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm your host, Darayus Sethna. For our episode, we're going to break down DeAndre Hunter. I figured it's time to give DeAndre Hunter his due. I know Matt and I talked a lot about him in the offseason, but I definitely wanted to give an update on DeAndre Hunter. He's certainly been the talk for me recently with the Cavaliers, just based on what I'm watching in the game. So I wanted to spend an episode giving some love to DeAndre Hunter. So tough loss for the Cavs last night in Toronto. 110-99, fall to 12-7 on the year. But obviously you can't really the record. You shouldn't let the record really dictate your opinion on how this team looks. It's still very early on in the season. I would say really, Christmas time, post-Christmas is really when you want to start evaluating that record, maybe with a little bit more criticism, and whether it's positive or negative. But right now they sit at 12-7, and with all the injuries they've been dealing with, I think Kenny Atkinson and company will be happy with that record. There's obviously a lot of basketball left to go, but I definitely can see we're a month into the season now, and you can definitely see lots of guys are starting to find their form. Obviously, in the picture there, Donovan Mitchell has had his form. He has been balling since day one. Definitely needs to be an MVP candidate once we head into spring if he continues to play at this pace. Didn't have the best of nights last night in Toronto, but against the Clippers, once again, hero ball, saved the Cavs. It was a pretty tightly contested game there, finished with around 37 points. Can't remember off the top of my head, but nonetheless, Donovan Mitchell doing Donovan Mitchell things. And then Darius Garland didn't play in Toronto last night due to injury management. The Cavs are still managing his toe. They want to get him back into the swing of things, but you can definitely tell, and Matt and I have talked about this as well, how different the offense looks with Darius Garland out there on the floor. And then we also have other guys, Sam Merrill, as you obviously proven himself, Evan Mobley, continuing to find his way with this Cavaliers team. We obviously talked about Craig Porter Jr., Tyrese Proctor, even Luke Travers, younger guys finding their way, finding their footing with Kenny Atkinson and this Cavs team. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I wanted to talk about DeAndre Hunter because he, like Donovan Mitchell, has been ready since day one, was inserted into the starting lineup right when the season tipped off because of the injuries to Max Strus and Darius Garland, and he has flourished. And I really just want to go into the video now, gives you some more statistical information on what DeAndre Hunter has been able to do. So Hunter did not play in Toronto last night due to rest, and I talked about rest ad nauseum in my video last week. So make sure you check that out on the channel about load management and the Cavs, how it all ties in. Did a lot of research and background before making that video, so definitely give that one a watch. But nonetheless, DeAndre Hunter did not play against the Raptors last night due to rest. However, DeAndre Hunter, if there's anybody who deserves rest on this Cavs team for a game, it's him. In his last 9 appearances for the Cavs, DeAndre Hunter has scored double digits in 8 of those games. So 8 of his last games, he has scored 10 or more points. And I think, one reason DeAndre Hunter feels comfortable with this Cavs team now is, one, he's now spent a full offseason with the team. If you remember, he was traded to Cleveland back in February, so really had to come into the team right away and didn't really get that much time to gel. Played very well for the Cavs with the limited amount of time he was here last year, but now, like I said, had a full offseason to get to know everybody, learn the system, and be a part of this Cavaliers organization. And it's led to him just being more comfortable and overall more well-rounded as a basketball player. And Hunter kind of talked about this in a recent post-game interview in terms of why the Cavs have had so many guys step up and be successful despite the injuries. Like I said, you look at guys like Tyrese Proctor, Craig Porter Jr., Sam Merrill to start the season. How are all these guys being successful? And this is how DeAndre Hunter explained it. We all do the same stuff in practice. We all learn the same concepts. So when one guy is out, we feel like we can plug another dude in and he can do the same thing. So it's very fact of the matter from DeAndre Hunter saying, like, look, we all learn the same stuff. We all do the same thing. And, at the end of the day, it's basketball. We just plug one guy in for the other. Next man mentality, next man up. Nobody knows that type of mentality better than one DeAndre Hunter. So definitely good to hear his explanation why he thinks these guys have been able to step up. And for him, it's a very simple explanation. Hunter also talked about his personal game and why he feels more comfortable in this Cavs offense. And he really contributed it to his willingness to pass more. Hunter quoted, "I wasn't too willing to pass before, but I'm more willing to pass this year." So I think that kind of shows with my numbers a little bit. Definitely more well-rounded numbers from DeAndre Hunter this past season. Going over some of his key stats, he's averaging 18 points per game, about a little under 5 rebounds per game, a little over 2.5 assists per game. And then the efficiency numbers to me, the 45% from the field to me is big. He is shooting only 33% from 3, but I also think there is more of a responsibility on him offensively, so he can't just be a spot shooter all the time or a catch-and-shoot guy. He has to create some own offense and also get guys involved, and you see that with the assists. So I think overall, even though his numbers from beyond the arc are down, I think his overall efficiency and, more importantly, his overall impact has definitely taken a step in the right direction with this Cavs team. I also wanted to mention, too, about DeAndre Hunter in terms of his minutes, playing very well under Kenny Atkinson, averaging about 29 minutes per game. So I kind of going into that a little bit more here. Not only is Hunter playing well in the minutes he's given, but he's getting a lot of minutes. And I think that just shows you that he's not only playing well, but continuing to earn and solidify that trust with Kenny Atkinson and this coaching staff. Because as I've lamented many times, this Cavs team is very, very deep. And when you have someone like DeAndre Hunter who has really made himself stand out amongst that group of depth, that really shows you the type of impact he's had on this Cavaliers team. And I believe that it should lead him to a 6th Man of the Year candidate role. He should be the front runner right now for 6th Man of the Year. And I know he's had a decent amount of starts, but once everybody gets healthy, especially once Darius Garland is playing more consistently, once Max Strus comes back, hopefully that's around Christmas time, New Year's, DeAndre Hunter will go back to the bench, and I think his impact is still going to be just as prolific. You saw him here this past weekend guarding Kawhi Leonard, making it tough on him. When you say DeAndre Hunter is the Swiss Army knife of a basketball player, he literally is the Swiss Army knife. He can shoot, he can rebound, he can pass, he can obviously score, as we saw with the 18 points a game that he's knotting this year. So a lot of things to like about DeAndre Hunter's game, and I believe the way he's playing right now, and let me know your thoughts on this too, DeAndre Hunter is not one of the candidates. He should be the top candidate for the 6th Man of the Year in 25-26. Had a pretty high finish. He was around 4th or so in the standings for 6th Man of the Year last season, and that's going from one team to another. So to be able to continue doing what he was doing once he got to Cleveland in itself was impressive. But I think this year, now that he has one system under his belt, is with one team, I think you're going to see him flourish even more, and that's going to lead in what I believe should be some pretty major recognitions. But let me know your thoughts. Where does DeAndre Hunter stand to you in terms of 6th Man of the Year? I know obviously Peyton Pritchard of the Boston Celtics, the defending NBA 6th Man of the Year. Are there other candidates who you think are better or just as competitive as DeAndre Hunter, let me know in the comments below. And more importantly, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our Cavs Digest YouTube channel. Matt and I are posting content galore, and Matt's doing a fantastic job, so make sure you check out some of his videos as well. We want to make sure we're keeping you up to date with the latest content, news, and updates with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So make sure you do yourself a favor, like these videos, and subscribe to that Cavs Digest YouTube channel to keep up with all things Cavs. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, everybody, and I'll see you again soon for another episode of Cavs Digest. Take care.